What is poppin'? And good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sacred Conversations. I am MJ333, Empress J, you know what I'm saying? And I hope that you woke up feeling happy, healthy, wealthy, beautiful, wonderful, just all around just good and feeling yourself. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to come on here, say what's popping, as we are reaching the third quarter, guess you would call it, towards the end of the third quarter of the year. And it's important that we check in with ourselves. And also, I just think that it's important that we constantly replaying what we've been through in a way where we can make sure that we're growing in the right way for ourselves. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into the message. There's been a lot of different planetary shifts. So with that being said, a lot of us have been going through the realignment of our assignment. So for each step of the journey, there's a new energy that you're meant to feel. There's a new way that you're supposed to be. There's a new you that's supposed to come out of every death, okay, of your ego, of the lower self, and a rebirth of the higher self. Now, with that being said, each time we go back into our past, we need to go back with purpose. It is important that we reframe the way we look at what we've been through by reframing how we think about it. Now, the way you reframe your thoughts is by going back to the moment and looking at it. And I've talked about this before, but it's coming back again. Because this is a place where it is very important. This is like the first step of the realignment of your life, of your mind, of your cellular self, okay? So that you can release the muck and live to your highest best self, right? So with that being said, reframing is like going back into that thought, like your worst thing. Like for me, domestic violence, my stepdad was very abusive to me. Those are the very first thoughts, situations that I can think that started to change who I started to help to cultivate who I'd be. Okay. So with that, I had to go back. That was the very first thing I had to do, because that was my sadness. That's where the main part of my sadness came from, how I was treated as a child, the pain that came from my childhood. Okay, so going back into those thoughts, and not one specific, but just overall. Okay, in the moment where I started to change. Okay, some could call it a fragment, but I would say change towards the situation that I was being indoctrinated into. Domestic violence became part of my everyday life for very long. So with that, I just had to take my mental frame, like my mind, back to the very first moment that I could think, any moment, and look at the person who caused me pain, okay, and myself in that moment. Now, like I said, doesn't matter what moment it is, as long as you just look at it's the time, you know what I'm saying, when something happened or whatever. What were, like, most of those times, what part did you play? Like, I was an innocent child. Yeah, children do things that aren't always the greatest, but at the same time, it is the job of the parent to teach the child what is right and what is wrong. And how they do that is going to be directly connected to how they were treated when that time came about in their life. If they were treated with disrespect and rude and harmed, then that's what's going to befall you. So then it becomes your job to heal that. But the only way that you can do that is to look at it and say, I didn't play any type of negative part in that, other than I was a child, okay? And that person was my adult, was my parent, and they were sent to protect, right? And to teach. Now, did they do that? No. I didn't do anything wrong in that situation. They necessarily didn't do anything wrong in that situation, especially if they were not taught how to be as a parent. If that's how they were taught to be, then they actually just did what they knew. You understand what I'm saying? You don't do anything different until you know something different. So it becomes job of the person who was harmed to heal that wound by knowing that you didn't play any part that was wrong and they actually didn't either. So you can forgive the whole situation, person, place, and thing, and yourself mainly, right, man? And then you move on from that. You start to move on clean, and in a way where like not holding on to anything, because if you ain't do nothing wrong and they didn't do nothing wrong, it was a situational thing. You let it go. LIG it. You know what I'm saying? Forgiveness is for you and it's for me. It's for everyone in between. That's where it stops. That pain, you just snub that shit out. It's no longer a fire. Now the smoke, you see the smoke, because if you put the fire out, if it holds no weight, it cannot control you anymore. You have to take away the control of the situation, person, place, or thing. Once you heal that, like nobody did nothing wrong, like it's okay, it lost its power over you. So now how you move forward, it's on you. You can now create a new reality based on all the smoke that, like, after the smoke settles, after you see what's left, you clean up the foundation. You clean it up. If it's broken, if it's any cracks, anything, now we see where we have repairs to be, you know what I'm saying, to be made. Now we know exactly where, the fire burned. We can see the spots that need to be healed now, that we need to do some work. We got to go to the store now. We got to go get cinder blocks. We got to go get new material. You understand what I'm saying? To fortify the foundation. And that is the truth. And that's what I've been doing. I really implore you to try it out. Like, if you're going through any type of pain, right, and you are like at a crossroads, or you keep feeling like you're hitting a wall inside yourself. Me and my daughter explained this one feeling of walking, feels like, being out here in the world sometimes, and when you're going through some pain, walking and feeling like you can't like lift your legs up all the way, like you walking in water, like you got water feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a water weight on your legs. That's what happens, I believe, when we are going through trauma and it's unrealized. Like, we're not able to go in there. We're afraid to go in there and look at it so that we can release it. You know what I'm saying? The release becomes the water pill, and it releases the water. So you have to go inside and literally manually pull the lever and let the water out. You have to release. And that way look all types of ways. The first stages of healing are messy, it's disgusting, it's nasty. Okay, but it's necessary. And like I said, it's that simple. Go back in your mind to the very first time, or when you can remember the pain, and start looking at it. Start looking at the places that, like, you can't go back and rewrite it. You can't rewrite it. You can't change what happened. However, you can change how you look at it. You can change how you see the person that put you through pain. You can change how you look at yourself, the person who has went through the pain and came out on the other side. You have to also remember, and this is what changed a lot for me. I came out on the other side. He did not. My stepdad is still going through his own mental struggles, which are killing him slow. A long, lifelong pain. Like, he's every day suffering. Every day I'm suffering. Every day I'm suffering. It's a suffrage for the rest of eternity. He'll be back again, and he'll have to do this job again. That's what happens to our souls when we don't figure it out. We come back again and we have to relive it. I hope that he doesn't have me as a grandparent or something like that. But that's how, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. But this is the beginning of it, though. It was sent to you. It was sent to you, for your healing, because Spirit, God, our ancestors, whatever you believe in, knew that you could be the one to heal this. They knew that you would be the one to see this and reframe this and become stronger because of it. It's not about what happened to you. It's not about that at all. That's a part of it, but that's not the whole picture. who you become after it, what kind of a person you become after the pain. That's the purpose. That is the reason for that happening to you in that moment, because it was supposed to do something for you. Has it? What has it done for you? How are you moving with it? Or have you released it? And how have you done that? Those are a few questions that you can ask yourself and journal about. I'm big on journal prompts. I'm big on journaling what you feel, gratitude journals, shadow journals, okay? Writing down when you're not feeling so great. Your shadow side is the side that no one else sees. They don't see that. That's your shadow. You have to work on the shadow. That's what we're talking about. I talk about a lot of shadow work. That's the inner work. That's what no one sees. But they end up seeing the results. You don't see the work, but you see the results. You feel what I'm saying? Go get quiet. Go sit down. Go grab you some notebooks. And it's imperative that you take 5 to 10 minutes every day and journal in a book. Write about something that's all about you. Not about like who's irritating you or none of that nonsense. I'm talking about going as deep as you possibly can inside of yourself and dig out and dig up all of those things that you hide from yourself and start working with it. It will be shown. Your progress will be shown in everybody. Like everyone will see you no longer carrying something because you look lighter, you feel lighter, you walk lighter. Life gets lighter and it stays light. Once you start to heal, you don't go through the things that you used to go through. It's not the same no more. It's not the same. And then because you start reframing the way you look at things, then you start thinking differently. You start moving differently. The possibilities of what your life can become is different because now you're on a higher frequency. The universe is going to recognize that and they're going to send things your way because of the vibration that you're on. But it's very important to stay consistent and to stay clear with oneself, because this was what I'm talking about is a self-directed lifestyle, self-protected co-creation with you in spirit. This is something that can only be, I can talk to you about it, but you won't truly understand it until you're inside of it. Then you'll get everything I'm talking about. It may sound foreign when I say like you walk around different. You may have a life filled with pain. You don't remember it. You know what you've been through, but you don't know that feeling anymore. You're no longer connected to it. And that's the place that we need to get to, because then on the other side of the pain, it is everything that the pain was not. It is everything that you didn't even believe could be possible for yourself and for your life. It starts to be like your wildest, like, oh my goodness, thoughts. Like, you know, when you daydream and you're like, damn, if my life could have been like this, it becomes that thing. It becomes just that. You start believing things differently. You start trusting yourself. You start recognizing signs and symbols, and then you never miss your mark. Things come to you easily. When things do happen, you learn how to get through them much easier because of the system that you've built inside of yourself and the knowing that you've grown of like, okay, this happens, but then I do this and then that happens. You understand what I'm saying? Confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. So it starts to become a new way of living and a new way of being cultivated between you and spirit, and only you and spirit. And that is a freeness, a beautiful like way of giving like respect to those things that you've been through by turning them into power. I turn my pain into power. My pain has become my power. The things that were sent to me, God used them to make a bed and a foundation for me that can never be stolen, bought, or taken. So, with that being said, I hope that you got something good out this message. Remain free in your mind. Only you can free yourself. No one's coming to save you. You got to do it. Your spirit guides are waiting. They're standing next to you, and so are your ancestors. Tap in. Okay, I'm Empress J. Hope you found something good in this message. I love you and enjoy your day. Later.